Before we have the bridal waltz, I want to take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about how we came to be here today. You all know why we're here, but you may not know just how much effort went into making this day possible. For Jen and Matt, this is their love story. It all began on the 28th of February 2009 at the Pig and Whistle in the city. Jen and Gillian were out for a girls' night that had been 5 years in the planning. Supposed to be Gillian's 30th birthday present, it never happened until 5 years later. The two girls were enjoying their bottles of cheap champagne on a fairly slow night in the city when a young New Zealand chap rolled up to their table and asked if they would like to see some magic tricks. This brash New Zealander was of course Matt. Matt says he was instantly drawn to Jen when he saw her with her stunning blonde hair and describes her as looking gorgeous. Jen was going to say no to the magic tricks, but Gillian said yes. Matt describes this as the first time the pickup line had actually worked. The first trick was to make a coin disappear. However, the trick didn't work. At this time, Matt's friends disappeared, but Matt didn't care, as he says he didn't require a wingman. Matt attempted to bow out so as not to ruin the girls' night, but Gillian saw the opportunity and pounced, saying, "No, you're staying with us." Jen thought, well, if Gillian is okay with it, then she would go with it. It had been 12 years since Jen was last in a relationship. Jen says that Gillian had a huge part to play in Matt and Jen getting together. Shortly after, Gillian and Matt smuggled a bottle of champagne out of the Pig and Whistle and ran down to the river to finish off the bottle. They then moved on to Irish Murphy's, where Matt spied Gillian giving Jen a mint. At this point, Matt thought to himself, all right, I must be in here. They shared their first kiss to a random AC/DC song from the AC/DC tribute band on the dance floor of Irish Murphy's. Matt claims that Jen kissed him, but Jen claims that Matt kissed her first. The debate still rages to this day over who kissed who. The night came to a close and Matt asked for Jen's phone number. Matt took his phone and says, "So how do you spell Jessica?" Jen thought to herself, well, I could tell you how to spell Jessica, but my name is Jen. I'm not really up for that if you can't remember my name after all this time. Jen started to give her number and was going to change the last digit, but she describes that something told her to give the correct phone number anyway. Matt describes the best part of the night as the fact that Jen gave the correct number after he stuffed up calling her Jessica. Matt called Jen the following day and the first date was set up for the following Saturday as both were too hungover to do anything that day. Matt and Jen shared their first date on the 7th of March 2009 at the Storybridge Hotel. The plan was to have the date mid-afternoon so it would be easy to bail out if the beer goggles had been working on the night they had met. Luckily, this was not the case, and Matt and Jen sat and talked over some wine and beers until around 11 that night. Matt made the decision he was going to propose around 2 weeks out from Christmas 2010. Jen describes Matt as a maniac around this time as he was trying to find excuses to get to the shops when he never goes to the shops. Matt even went to the extent of saying he was going to the gym and returning and jumping straight in the shower because he didn't really stink and had not been at the gym. He would say he was shopping for a Christmas present for Jen, and Jen would say, "It's just one present, I don't understand the stress." Jewellers would be ringing him to tell him that new rings had arrived, and he'd hang up on them saying, "It's not a good time." Matt's stories worked, and Jen had no idea what Matt was up to. Matt tried to ask for permission from Jen's parents for her hand in marriage, however circumstances did not permit. Matt apologised later for not being able to ask as he had wanted to. Jen's parents said you didn't need to, with Jen's dad actually saying, "She's a big girl." Just after Christmas, Matt and Jen set off to New Zealand. Matt had booked a cruise around the Bay of Islands and thought that would be a perfect place to propose. Once on the cruise, they were offered 2 activities. The first was a kayaking adventure, the second was a beach walk. Jen said, let's do the kayaking, as that is what Matt would normally go for. Matt said, no, do the beach walk. A discussion of which activity to do went back and forth, with each wanting to do the other respective activity. Finally, a decision was made to do the beach walk. As they were getting ready to head over to the beach, Matt couldn't find his wallet. Jen calmly said, don't panic, it will be on the boat somewhere. Jen then went to look through Matt's bag. Matt yells, no, don't touch the bag! Jen walked out of the room. Matt found his wallet in the bag, right next to the engagement ring that was hidden in that bag. They arrived on Palm Island and Matt spied the perfect spot to propose. After a walk, they sat down on the spot on their rug, and Matt offered Jen a jet plane lolly. Matt kept saying, do you want another jet plane? While he was fumbling through his bag, looking for the ring. Jen, not knowing why Matt was fumbling with the jet planes, said, enough with the jet planes, I don't want any more jet planes, get over the jet planes. Matt had removed the ring from the box and had it in his hand. He then said, what is this I found in the sand? Jen said, what's that? Jen then realised that Matt was on his knee. Jen said, oh. All the colour had run from Matt's face. Jen then realised what was happening and said, okay, yep, I'm with you, continue. Once given permission, Matt continued with the proposal. Matt said, will you marry me? To which Jen said yes. Matt's favourite moments with Jen are sitting by the pool, sipping on a wine and talking about their day. Matt describes Jen as the perfect, kind, loving girl who looks after him and matches perfectly the person he dreamed of marrying as a child. She is 1 in a million and has never met anyone like her. He has never met anyone like her. When Jen was a little girl, she said she always imagined herself marrying an architect. Now, Matt is not an architect, but he does fit a description of the perfect man. Jen describes Matt as laid back, funny, smart, pretty hot, a hard worker, and committed to his family. And that story led us to this one. After 3 years, the time has finally arrived. Today, January 6, 2012, Matt and Jen's amazing friendship has become an amazing marriage. They're here tonight with their dearest family and friends to laugh, to cry, to dance and to sing, to celebrate as we wish them all the best that life has to offer. Ladies and gentlemen, I now have great pleasure to introduce Matt and Jen Bairstow for their first dance as husband and wife.